Hello, and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Halecko.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Catherine and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week, we are continuing with our watch of the second season of Veronica Mars with the episode Blast from the Past. And we're also continuing with World of Dance after an unexplained 1-week hiatus. That was the network's fault, not ours. So World of Dance is back with Duels, more Duels. Not that many more Duels. 2 more Duels for the senior
the upper division.
Group, the upper division. And again, I believe both times the first ones to go won. Mm-hmm. So that's... Mm-hmm. All of this upper division ones worked out that way, which, kids, bribe the person who sends you out.
But I still felt like it was right.
Well, I agreed with them on the first one for...
Geometry variable.
No. The first one was
right.
The couples.
The two pair.
What was it? Something and Xiao. What was the guys? Jake and Xiao. I definitely would have picked them over the other couple. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm a little afraid of the girl in the couple that got turned down because she looked pissed. But, that's her boyfriend's problem. I guess her husband. They said they're a couple, but I don't know. I don't remember.
But I couldn't remember if they were the ones that were a couple or Jake and Chow were the ones that were a couple.
No, I think they said the other ones were a couple and Jake and Chow were not. But at any rate, I liked Jake and Chow better.
Yeah, she did not look happy.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And every time they showed her after that, she had that same look in her eyes like,
ready to murder.
Yes, she might turn on the lasers and everybody would be toast. But, it's got to be hard and it's got to be disappointing and you have to sort of look like a good sport, even though, but I definitely, interesting idea they had with the suspenders or whatever that was, but mm-hmm. It just was not as sort of exciting to watch as the acrobatics and really violations of the way bodies are supposed to work that Jake and Chow were on about. So, you're going, whoa, and ouch at the same time, but good luck to you, children.
Right. You
little rubber bands, you. And then the second one was all right, so now you get to say it.
Géométrie variable.
Excellent. And oxygen, which in that case, I really liked oxygen. I liked their number that they did that time, and I think it had enough of their stuff that they do. I feel like the judges are saying, we want to see you do different things, and then when they do different things, they go, why did you do different things?
Yes.
The thing you do is so perfect. What the heck?
Yeah, thanks a lot.
The guys did pretty much the same stuff they did the first time, which is cool. It's fun to watch, but what else you got? The oxygen showed what else they got, and they were like, why would you possibly ever do anything other than what you did before? Yes. So, I kind of hate that.
Yeah.
And I would have liked them to have won that duel, so that then Styles and Emma would have been against somebody else, and they could have won the final thing, the redemption round, because I think they're fantastic too.
Yeah.
And
really
also in the I did not know bodies could do that genre of Jake and Chow. So why weren't those two up against each other? Because they seem to be doing the same thing. But, okay. Anyway, I really would have liked them to go through. But I also wanted Oxygen to go through. So.
Yeah, I agree that Oxygen in their redemption was amazing. They really were fantastic. But it's just so hard to compare them to an Emma and Styles.
They were fantastic too.
Right.
They were, just beautiful to watch. And so I was dissatisfied. I like the, say the name.
Géométrie variable.
I like those guys. I respect what they do. But I would have rather they had not won. Bye, guys. You got to be on TV twice.
Right. Well, but more so because of what it ended up doing.
Yeah. It's just the whole way those last two matchups went made me sad. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of don't get it. I don't feel like there's a coherent rationale from the judges for why they make the decisions they make.
Right. Well, it's just because of the way this stuff is so different.
Yes.
Yes. It's so very hard to compare these dance troupes with individuals or pairs that are doing contemporary or ballet. It's just like, this is why I remember when we first started watching this, I said it reminds me of America's Got Talent, which I think is on right before it on NBC, because it's completely different stuff. Like, it's magic, and then it's comedy, and then it's dance, and then it's singing, and then it's like acrobatics. It's just a whole collection of stuff. Yeah. And somehow they have to decide, well, this one's better than that one.
Right.
So this is that, only it's just different dance genres.
Yes. It's weird. And it's like on that redemption round. I mean, I liked who Twitch picked. I think Twitch acquitted himself very well. But the judges were all hooting and hollering so much for both of them. Like, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this before. Whoa. Well, you just saw it. Really? It's sort of. It's not. I don't know. I felt like they needed to calm down. But yeah, okay, let's see so I guess now we have 2 weeks of duels of the junior division.
I believe that's right.
Because it's like, I feel like there's tons of acts that went through that we have not seen yet, and they did not all seem like children to me, but I guess they could be 17 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the junior division comprises, but.
I mean, there were some tiny children. Like, I really feel, I'm going to feel bad when they put a 9-year-old against like a 16-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was that group that was like a guy and 2 girls who I guess must be teenagers.
Right.
But I was experiencing them as older. Yeah. They seem like they would be in the same group with some of the people we've just seen.
Right. Like the one, that has the kid with the like white hair. He looks young.
He does. So why are the whole group looks young.
Yeah.
So why weren't they just sometimes you have to let art wash over you, I guess, is what we're learning here. And, just trust in J-Lo that they know what they're doing.
That's right.
Well, speaking of not knowing what you're doing, Veronica Mars in Blast from the Past fell for a ruse from Jackie that, I don't know about you, I saw coming like a bus down a windy road about 100 miles away. Seriously?
You're going to bring up the bus.
Why did you trust this girl? Why, oh, why?
Yeah.
Oh, why? Clearly she was setting you up for something.
Although, I will say, I didn't get that the whole credit card thing was a setup.
Yeah, it was a setup.
Yeah, I didn't figure that out until I listened to the podcast. Like, I thought that she really did want to figure out what happened with her credit card. And so then once Veronica was doing it, then she came upon the idea of this sort of revenge that she got on Veronica. But, man, that was a long con. Like, that was a lot of work to get to that.
I smelled a rat from the beginning, and I wanted to think that's not what they were going to do, but it just really seemed like it was. Yeah. So I did not enjoy that just because all of that I saw. Everybody was, I think as they said on Veronica Mars Investigations, everybody was unhappy in this episode. Mm-hmm. Sweet Wallace was unhappy a couple of different ways. And, Keith is getting dumped on by Lamb, and Keith and Alicia are having hard times, and Veronica's getting duped by this mean girl, and it was not fun to watch. I didn't enjoy it. And I am significantly disinterested in the plot involving Jackie's dad being the Lamb having stuff on him and blackmailing him. Ho-hum. Duncan and Logan are back together playing golf. Good for them.
Playing 5-bit or whatever you want to call it. Like that.
And then they're watching The Psychic.
Right. They suddenly switched to The Psychic because everyone at Neptune High watches that.
Fun playing this golf game, but man, let's watch that. Yeah, everybody at school apparently does, just like Jackie says. I was impressed with this episode that, unlike I think pretty much every other Veronica Mars episode ever, they started this episode where they left off last episode. Not quite exactly, because you're no longer with Wallace outside with his dad. But they picked right up with Wallace going inside and saying to his mom, hey, just met this guy. And then things going terribly and sadly from there. But did enjoy Wallace singing Papa Was a Rolling Stone in the convenience store.
In the second pack.
His dad was standing around enjoying the fine music. That was fun. But it was hard to get through. If I had not had to watch it for this podcast, this may have been one of the some TV shows I watch regularly with my husband. Sometimes we get halfway through an episode and I go, you know what? I'm just gonna back out on this one. I'll catch up with it again next week.
Not doing it for me.
Yeah. I was thinking this week, speaking of things that never get picked up where they got left on, have we ever seen Logan have any reckoning with the fact that his girlfriend slept with his dad? Mm-hmm. His dad slept with his girlfriend. His dad killed his girlfriend. His dad got protected from being caught because his best friend was thought to have done it. Right. And then his dad tried to burn his current girlfriend alive. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of stuff.
Right.
I think we saw Logan deal with the repercussions of being beaten up by Weevil's gang, but we never saw any of that stuff. He was already kind of a self-loathing dude before that. Mm-hmm. How is he just now being Logan?
Yeah.
Being just regular old Logan. How I really wanted to see an episode where he grappled with all of that stuff. It's kind of too late for it now. Mm-hmm. It should have been earlier, but I feel kind of cheated of that.
Yeah, because that has to mess with the person. I feel like
you don't stack that much plot on somebody's head without addressing it. Mm-hmm. Right?
And there was very little of his mom's suicide either.
Yeah. I mean, he was already sort of dealing with that, but there's never even been so much of a mention of it.
Well, I guess you wouldn't expect two 18-year-old boys to have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, when they're like becoming friends again or whatever.
Yeah.
This might be a topic.
I hope Duncan Duncan doesn't seem like the deepest thinker.
Yeah.
But somebody needs to just give that boy a hug and say, dude.
Yeah.
Rough. I'm so sorry about all this horrible, horrible stuff that happened to you. I did like Wallace speaking up to Jackie that she has no idea what Veronica's been through. Sit her down with the DVDs from season 1. And maybe she'll have a different perspective. But I'm starting to wonder whether season 1 will be the peak of Veronica Mars for me. Season 2 so far, I'm feeling like diminishing returns. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But who knows? Perhaps. I guess I just don't like to see Veronica, happily dating. We'll see. Mm-hmm. We'll stick with it. Mm-hmm. Do you have any thoughts about this episode now that I've been blathering for a while?
Not really. I mean, I generally agree with everything you said. I will mention, I was certainly glad that Veronica didn't play the recording that she collected from Lamb's office of Jackie's dad. She was going to play it at homecoming as a revenge, and I'm very glad that she finally thought better of that.
Yes, that was definitely bad. But now I got a little confused because Veronica had the thing of Jackie's dad on a CD, and the recording of the phone call, which indicated that there had been an explosive involved in the bus crash, was just on a answering machine thing on her phone. But later, Keith goes into Lamb's office and says, here's proof that there was something else going on in the bus crash. And it's a CD that looks exactly like the CD with the incriminating conversation on it.
Right. But
Keith wouldn't have just picked up this thing that says homecoming request and thought, Veronica must have taped the bus crash thing.
No.
I'll just give this to the sheriff. So it must be a different CD.
I believe it's a different CD.
But it was weird.
I think he must have burned it from the phone onto a CD.
Which, how does one burn it off a phone? But maybe there's he
called Mac.
That's right. It may just be that back then CDs were an incredibly common thing and an extremely common way to transfer around information. And to me, it's like, look at that relic.
Yeah.
It's a CD. It must be the only CD in existence. If the CD is shown again, it must be the same CD, because who uses CDs?
CD.
Remember when we used CDs? Remember floppy disks?
Yes.
There were the little square ones, and then before that, there were the big square ones. Oh my goodness. Olden days.
I'll just mention quickly that a couple episodes ago, Veronica and Duncan and Wallace and Jackie were watching Pride and Prejudice on TV because they were supposed to be reading it for a class. And so the Veronica Mars Investigations podcast decided to watch it as well because one of them, Jenny Owen Youngs, had never seen it. So they watched it and they did a podcast about it. And so I was like, I like that Pride and Prejudice. I'm going to watch it too.
Cool.
And so I did. And I got to say their podcast about it was a lot of fun. They just sort of, because there's 6 episodes in the miniseries, and they recapped each one in a very amusing manner with like British accents, and it was just very funny the way they did it, and they discussed it as well, and it was a good time. Just, it was fun to watch that again because I haven't seen it in like probably 15 years, and even though it's 25 years old. But it was fun to watch again, and it was fun to listen to them talk about it. So
yeah, I've read the book multiple times. I'm not sure I've ever seen that miniseries version of it. I'm not sure I've seen any movies of it at all. So
it's good.
I should.
It's like 6 hours, and you can buy it on Prime for $10 or something.
I may have to do that when I have 6 hours open up in my life, which will be
never.
20 years from now. They'll have a whole different way to they'll just implant it in my brain, and I will have a complete knowledge of it. It'll be fun. Right. But how fun for you to have watched and then listened to it.
Yes. So I recommend it to listeners if you have the time or access to Pride and Prejudice.
All right.
Or if you remember watching it long ago and thinking like, oh, I'm going to watch, I remember enjoying it back then. I'm going to watch it again.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, next week we will talk about the 6th episode of Veronica Mars Season 2 with the unpromising title Rat Saw God. And we will continue with, I can't wait to see that. And we'll continue with World of Dance with the episode that airs tonight, July 21st, because we like to be behind the times. It's another round of Duels episode, I believe this time with the juniors. So little kids getting their hearts broken. We are there for it.
Can't wait.
And that's going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Goodbye, Catherine.
Bye, Terry.
Goodbye, everybody.